Hi, everybody. It's Mr. Greg, and today I am going to read to you from a book called Where the Sidewalk Ends. It's a collection of really fun poems that we used to read to our two boys when they were your age, and now I would like to share some of them with you. We're going to start with a poem called 1 Inch Tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd ride a worm to school. The teardrop of a crying ant would be your swimming pool. A crumb of cake would be a feast and last you 7 days at least. A flea would be a frightening beast if you were 1 inch tall. If you were only 1 inch tall, you'd walk beneath the door, and it would take about a month to get down to the store. A bit of fluff would be your bed. You'd swing upon a spider's thread and wear a thimble on your head if you were 1 inch tall. You'd surf across the kitchen sink upon a stick of gum. You couldn't hug your mama, you'd just have to hug her thumb. You'd run from people's feet in fright. To move a pen would take all night. This poem took 14 years to write, 'cause I'm just 1 inch tall. Okay, that's the first one. Let's read another one. This one is called Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too. Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too went for a ride in a flying shoe. Hooray! What fun! It's time we flew, said Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too. Ickle was captain and Pickle was crew, and Tickle served coffee and mulligan stew. As higher and higher and higher they flew, Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too. Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too, over the sun and beyond the blue. Hold on, stay in, I hope we do, cried Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too. Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too never returned to the world they knew, and nobody knows what's happened to dear Ickle Me, Pickle Me, Tickle Me Too. The end of that one. What do we have next here? The next one is called Jimmy Jet and his TV set. I'll tell you the story of Jimmy Jet, and you know what I tell you is true. He loved to watch his TV set almost as much as you. He watched all day, he watched all night, till he grew pale and lean. From the early show to the late, late show, and all the shows in between. He watched till his eyes were frozen wide, and his bottom grew into his chair, and his chin turned into a tuning dial, and antenna grew out of his hair, and his brains turned into TV tubes, and his face to a TV screen, and two knobs saying vertical and horizontal grew where his ears had been, and he grew a plug that looked like a tail. So we plugged in little Jim, and now instead of him watching TV, we all sit around and watch him. The end. The next one, what do we have for the next one? It is called Hector the Collector. Hector the Collector collected bits of string, collected dolls with broken heads and rusty bells that would not ring, pieces out of picture puzzles, bent up nails and ice cream sticks, twists of wires, worn out tires, paper bags and broken bricks, old chipped vases, half shoelaces, Gatling guns that wouldn't shoot, leaky boats that wouldn't float, and stopped up horns that wouldn't toot, butter knives that had no handles, copper keys that fit no locks, rings that were too small for fingers, dried up leaves and patched up socks, worn out belts that had no buckles, electric trains that had no tracks, airplane models, broken bottles, three-legged chairs, and cups with cracks. Hector the Collector loved these things with all his soul, loved them more than shining diamonds, loved them more than glistening gold. Hector called to all the people, "Come and share my treasure trunk." And all the silly, sightless people came and looked and called it junk. The end. Let's see what we have for the next poem. It is called Sick. "I cannot go to school today," said little Peggy Ann McKay. "I have the measles and the mumps, a gash, a rash, and purple bumps. My mouth is wet, my throat is dry, I'm going blind in my right eye. My tonsils are as big as rocks. I've counted 16 chicken pox, and there's one more, that's 17. And don't you think my face looks green? My leg is cut, my eyes are blue. It might be instamatic flu. I cough and sneeze and gasp and choke. I'm sure that my left leg is broke. My hip hurts when I move my chin, my belly button's caving in. My back is wrenched, my ankle sprained, my appendix pains each time it rains. My nose is cold, my toes are numb. I have a sliver in my thumb. My neck is stiff, my spine is weak. I hardly whisper when I speak. My tongue is filling up my mouth. I think my hair is falling out. My elbow's bent, my spine ain't straight. My temperature is 108. My brain is shrunk, I cannot hear. There is a hole inside my ear. I have a hangnail, and my heart is, what? What's that you say? You say today is Saturday? Goodbye, I'm going out to play. The end of that one. The next one is called Snowman. 'Twas the first day of springtime, and the snowman stood alone, as the winter snows were melting, and the pine trees seemed to groan. "Ah, you poor, sad, smiling snowman, you'll be melting by and by." Said the snowman, "What a pity, for I'd like to see July." "Yes, I'd like to see July, and please don't ask me why, but I'd like to, yes, I'd like to. Oh, I'd like to see July." Chirped a robin, just arriving. Seasons come and seasons go, and the greatest ice must crumble when it's flowers' time to grow. And as one thing is beginning, so another must die, and there's never been a snowman who has ever seen July. No, they never see July, no matter how they try. No, they never, ever, never, ever, never see July. But the snowman sniffed his carrot nose and said, "At least I'll try." And he bravely smiled his frosty smile and blinked his coal-black eye. And there he stood and faced the sun, ablazing from the sky. And I really cannot tell you if he ever saw July. Did he ever see July? You can guess as well as I, if he ever saw July. Okay, now we have one called The Crocodile's Toothache. And I'll show you the picture. This one, I'll show you the picture. The dentist is working on the crocodile there. The crocodile went to the dentist and sat down in the chair. And the dentist said, "Now tell me, sir, why does it hurt and where?" And the crocodile said, "I'll tell you the truth. I have a terrible ache in my tooth." And he opened his jaws so wide, that the dentist, he climbed right inside. And the dentist laughed. "Oh, isn't this fun?" as he pulled the teeth out one by one. And the crocodile cried, "You're hurting me so. Please put down your pliers and let me go." But the dentist just laughed with a ho, 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 and he said, I still have 12 to go. Oops, that's the wrong one, I confess. But what's one crocodile's tooth, more or less? Then suddenly the jaws went snap, and the dentist was gone, right off the map. And where he went, one could only guess, to north or south or east or west. He left no forwarding address. But what's one dentist, more or less? The end. And that is all of the poems we're going to read for now, but there's another series of these same poems that I will be putting into another video very soon. Thanks for watching.